So it's not only the Ministry of Energy and Transport. We will have to do some consultation with the National Works Agency, looking at their road network. And based on my former, where I'm coming from, I know that consultations are currently happening now as to the amount of roads we have per kilometer. And that is something that has to be taken greatly into consideration, not with the Ministry of Transport alone. It has to be a cross-sector with ministries and how we move forward. So that question I could not answer immediately here. But if you want us to get a response as what will be done for schools that are located in communities that have no access via car or buses, and we can see, even we will have to do some consultation with the Ministry of Education. Will these schools remain? What will be the course going forward?
Okay. I understand.
And additionally, I want to point out, not to cut you, member, but that, you know, the Ministry of Education gives the route, provides the route to the JUTC.
That actually segues into my next question. What is the methodology for selecting routes? Do you have geospatial data? Are you taking into consideration migratory patterns? Is it a minimum number of students in a particular community where you would choose a route? And do you have pickup points or drop-off points where they would still have to take bike taxis or other private means of transportation when they're still taking these buses? Tell me about the routes.
The Ministry of Education provide the routes, and I can come back with further clarification as how the routes were chosen. But just based on my limited knowledge, I would think that accessibility is one. The amount of students that will be traversing the route could be a possible reason why they would have chosen the routes that they chose. There may be additional requirements. I could get that for you as to how the routes were chosen.
I think in my final question, Mr. Chair, I think that in your operations, you ought to have a dynamic assessment of the routes. We see where you can speak to the absolute number of children being transported, but are you solving a problem whereby you're taking the kids out of these unsafe vehicles? Or is it that they're using unsafe vehicles to get to a particular meetup point, and then they're counted in your numbers as being, rescued? So these are pertinent questions I believe that you should have, not just with the Ministry of Education, but find some other data points to see where your routes are and if it is sustainable, for one, and are you achieving your goals? Thanks.
Mr. Ellington, I think you could
assist
assist here because I think
respond to Member Dawes' question. The routes are determined through a process carried out in conjunction between the Ministry and the J Service Planning Department. It takes into consideration road conditions, distributed routes, designated pickup points, designated drop-off points to ensure that students from the far can be picked up and can arrive at school time for the start of vice versa. This is where the buses cannot go because of road conditions. And in those circumstances, children may have to disembark the bus and find another means of transport home, whether they walk home or they are picked up by parents or, unfortunately, resort to some other modality which was mentioned before. But as the roads are improved, and I must point out that one of the things that we did during what we called a route survey, after the routes were given to us, we did a route survey with all different sizes of buses, and that is how we determined that some buses could possibly operate on certain routes. We also made recommendations through our ministry to the ministry with responsibility for roads to repair some roadways, do debushing, patch potholes, and in all of that, we have come up with situations where routes that previously didn't have buses operating on them now have buses operating with due care, obviously, but there are certainly some other areas where the buses just cannot go. In the next tranche of buses that we intend to buy, there will be some buses that are much smaller than even the smallest one now in the fleet, and hopefully it can take children along those routes. Thank you, sir.
It's no Mr. Williams.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Well, I have two questions, but just listening to your response to the member Dawes, I just have two additional questions to my initial two questions. So let me ask the two questions now emanating from the conversation with member Dawes. The program is an expanding program.
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. And therefore, I get from what you were saying that you are in constant dialogue with the Ministry of Education,
Yes.
the National Works Agency.
Yes, the municipal corporation, because some are parochial roads.
As you see the need for new routes and in the expansion of the program. So you're taking these things into consideration in terms of routes that are troubled, for want of a better term. You are looking to expand into these routes, but part of that requires conversation with other ministries. So you're saying that is currently taking place.
Yes.
All right. My first question is, I'm not sure if you have it. So if you don't have it, no problem. But I see that you're expanding in 2025, 26, 27. You're looking at from your report that we got 100 new buses. And then in the 27, 28, you're looking at an additional 100 buses. Now, do you have an idea what is the number of buses required to satisfy the existing routes?
And when you say, you're saying if you would provide all rural schools, when you say satisfy, I'm trying to understand.
All right, so what
if
I'm
you were to
saying, there
completely
are,
replace the private system or just those that are underserved?
to fill
now?
the gap. To fill the gap. To fill the gap.
Approximately 750 buses when we do the study.
For the existing, not for the new routes now, for the routes that are currently existing. You would need
Mr. Williams' question was, how many buses would you need to fill the gaps
the gap
in the areas that are currently being served?
in the areas that are currently being served.
500.
500. Okay. But all right, so in the additional purchase, you are putting some of these buses to existing routes,
right,
as part of filling the gap, and then you're opening.
And we're adding new routes. But some of those routes, we have to add smaller buses based on the terrain and the size.
All right, so my last question is I know you said that the maintenance cost was captured in the 2025-2026 year in the purchase.
Right.
You have any idea? I know you provided a figure, but if you were to estimate the 2026-2027 maintenance cost, what would it be? Based on your operations now.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. I don't know if there's too many mics on.
It's 45,640,000 per month.
Just Mr. Williams, there was a printed or a sheet circulated.
No, I saw that.
That's where the 45 million is coming from. I'm just telling you.
That was the amount captured in the purchase.
No,
or that's what you estimate to be
no,
currently.
As I understand, it's the amount that was actually spent, even though it was covered by the vendors.
The chairman is correct.
Okay, thanks.
I have Mrs. Honis, but Mr. Morrison, Mike. was Mrs. Hornis, then Mr. Morris. Mrs. Hornis?
Chair, after we're finished, I would want to move that we deal with some housekeeping issues.
That we want?
First question, is any specialized training afforded to the persons who drive and operate the school bus vis-a-vis what we would normally have utilized for the regular JUTC bus drivers?
Yes, members.
Yes. So far more extensive training
Yes.
is done for those drivers. In terms of absenteeism, where either a driver just for whatever reason, not well, whatever, just has not turned up, what is the level of reserve that you have on hand to be able to still function at the optimal level? That's in terms of the drivers. And in terms of the buses, do we have any facility to...
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Calling Bell Show for yet another Wednesday evening. We call it Big Show Wednesday. Big Show Wednesday. At 6 o'clock, we're going to be talking to Senator Donna Scott Motley, the opposition spokesman on foreign affairs. We're going to talk to her this evening because we know where it's at when we talk about the Cuban doctors. And, you know, a caller yesterday evening to the show, Excellence, really list out some things for us. And all I will say to you is that the man know what he's talking about. And those of us who are from rural communities would understand when he said that young Jamaican doctors don't want to work in health centers and especially at rural health centers. So we're going to have consequences to sending home the Cubans. Government should have found a way. But you know, when you don't have no direction, any road will take you where you go. Any road. Also today, we were listening to the PAAC, where the Ministry of Transport, Energy, they were there at the PAC today, and the all bus policy came in for a lot of questions. You know, one of the things that shocked me, even after no retreating and coming to a decision that they are going to buy new buses, they still are defend the old buses. You can't admit say you wrong. You can't admit say you wrong. You do something where never makes sense. What is difficult in admitting that you make a foolish move? Well, it's not foolish. Is it foolish? Maybe not. That you make a move where you get caught pan. You can't acknowledge it? Well, I am very happy today. Very, very happy today. When I listen to the news, first before I play that, let me play the headline, the 5 o'clock headline from RGR today. Let me play that first.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Wednesday, March 11, 2026. Finance Minister warns that the conflict in the Middle East will have an impact on the Jamaican economy. Auditor General initiates probe into acquisition of 110 used school buses amid public concerns over procurement process. St. Catherine Council pleads guilty to breaches of the Integrity Commission Act. Jamaican family murdered in the U.S. In business news, Regency Petroleum partners with U.S. firm to produce road repair asphalt in Jamaica.
So, I want to hear that. But what I am happy about is this.
General Pamela Monroe Ellis has initiated a probe into the Ministry of Transport's acquisition of 110 used school buses amid public concerns over the procurement process. The buses were imported at a cost of $1.4 billion from the United States under the government's National Rural School Bus Program ahead of the reopening of schools for the 2025-26 academic year. Halshane Burke reports.
Listen.
In a statement on the Auditor General's Department website, Mrs. Monroe Ellis said the audit is in response to numerous stakeholder representations to the office and media reports regarding the acquisition of the 110 school buses. She says a preliminary assessment was undertaken to evaluate the credibility of the claims and to determine whether there was sufficient justification to initiate a formal audit. The Auditor General says the special audit was subsequently commissioned to determine whether the procurement and contracts management practices complied with the applicable laws, regulations, policies, guidelines, and guidance notes governing public procurement in Jamaica to attain value for money. The findings are expected to be published in the July to September quarter later this year. Last month, the Gleaner reported that opposition leader Mark Golding wrote to Mrs. Monroe Ellis's office, the Integrity Commission, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, requesting an investigation into the Transport Ministry's procurement of the school buses. In his 2025 letters, Mr. Golding stated that apparent irregularities and other suspicious aspects relating to the procurement of the buses had been brought to his attention. MOCA said a full and comprehensive evaluation was being undertaken in order to assess the credibility, veracity, and substance of the allegations. Access to information documents obtained by the Gleaner also revealed that the Public Procurement Commission warned the Transport Ministry against handpicking contractors even as it endorsed the billion-dollar deal for the controversial used school buses last year. The contract was awarded to El Hydro Limited through a single-source method based on an unsolicited proposal. There was no competitive bidding process. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has defended the acquisition of the used buses, reporting that more than 80 units are operational daily despite technological challenges and sensitive safety mechanisms causing frequent computer-induced shutdowns. And in a policy pivot, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz announced on February 17 that 100 new buses will now be procured in the 2026-2027 fiscal year as Phase 2 of the program. The original plan had been for 150, later reduced after consultations with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Halshane Burke, Radio Jamaica News.
Oh, this will be a revelation. Oh, this will be war and confusion. What is the problem? Unfairness. What is the problem? Greed. Corruption. Somebody stole our money. Somebody stole our money. Please share the live. Share up the live for me. And click the thumbs up. The thumbs up, it no cost nothing for click it. Click the thumbs up for me. Click the thumbs up. It no cost nothing for click the thumbs up and give the video a like. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call. And I need guidance this evening. I want any one of the labor rights, them blogger, vlogger, broadcaster out there to assist me this evening by helping me to understand the budget that was presented yesterday. I want somebody to point me to the growth strategy in the budget. I hear them say it was calculated and strategic. I never hear the calculation and I never get the strategy. So I admit that I may be slow. So I'm begging this evening for assistance from you supporters of the government. Please give me a call on 876-804-7072. I want to listen to you and I want to ask some questions. I am a bit disappointed though that Pamela Manuel is going to take so long. The third quarter. Is it the third quarter? Let's go back and listen to the news piece here.
General Pamela Monroe Ellis has initiated a probe into the Ministry of Transport's acquisition of 110 used school buses amid public concerns over the procurement process. The buses were imported at a cost of $1.4 billion from the United States under the government's National Rural School Bus Program ahead of the reopening of schools for the 2025-26 academic year. Halshane Burke reports.
In a statement on the Auditor General's Department website, Mrs. Monroe Ellis said the audit is in response to numerous stakeholder representations to the office and media reports regarding the acquisition of the 110 school buses. She says a preliminary assessment was undertaken to evaluate the credibility of the claims and to determine whether there was sufficient justification to initiate a formal audit. The Auditor General says the special audit was subsequently commissioned to determine whether the procurement and contracts management practices complied with the applicable laws, regulations, policies, guidelines, and guidance notes governing public procurement in Jamaica to attain value for money. The findings are expected to be published in the July to September quarter later this year. Last month, the Gleaner reported that opposition leader Mark Golding wrote to Mrs. Monroe Ellis's office, the Integrity Commission, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, requesting an investigation into the Transport Ministry's procurement of the school buses. In his 2025 letters, Mr. Golding stated that apparent irregularities and other suspicious aspects relating to the procurement of the buses had been brought to his attention. Mocha said a full and comprehensive evaluation was being undertaken in order to assess the credibility, veracity, and substance of the allegations. Access to information documents obtained by the Gleaner also revealed that the Public Procurement Commission warned the Transport Ministry against handpicking contractors even as it endorsed the billion-dollar deal for the controversial used school buses last year. The contract was awarded to El Hydra Limited through a single-source method based on an unsolicited proposal. There was no competitive bidding process. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has defended the acquisition of the used buses, reporting that more than 80 units are operational daily despite technological challenges and sensitive safety mechanisms causing frequent computer-induced shutdowns. And in a policy pivot, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz announced on February 17 that 100 new buses will now be procured in the 2026-2027 fiscal year as Phase 2 of the program. The original plan had been for 150, later reduced after consultations with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Halshane Burke, Radio Jamaica News.
Nevio is here.
General Pamela
I don't know if him can assist me with explaining the budget. But before I go to the budget, Nevio, after the buses were purchased and we hear the costs, I came out and I put out a video and I said $1.4 billion could have bought 100 brand new coaster buses, which would have made much more sense. In the PAAC today, former Commissioner Ellington said this.
Mrs. Onis's remarks are more commentary on a situation in a certain demographics. We understand that. One of the reasons why we are not able to fully serve those communities is because of the type of roads, the road conditions, and therefore in the next acquisition of buses for the program, we have actually earmarked a reasonable number of buses that are going to be of the smaller type and constructed, designed to mount those rural, marginal roadways. So those.
Nephew, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Bell. Good evening to your followers and listeners. The Minister of Finance is telling the people of Jamaica today that the war in the Middle East will affect us where oil prices is concerned, and everything else will follow that with price increase.
She never knew that yesterday.
Yesterday she told us that the reserve will can cushion the price of oil.
The
I am a
reserve.
little nervous. Hello?
Did you hear Ralston yesterday evening?
I hear Ralston yesterday, and I will give Ralston the benefit of the doubt as someone who has proven himself over the years to be a very knowledgeable economic individual. I give him the benefit of it.
So you believe Ralston over Faval?
I had upset that.
Thank you.
He said that the budget is basically flat. Doesn't mean
not
much
just flat.
the
budget have whole heap of holes in it.
Well, I hear a youngster partner on the news last night were saying something a little different, yes, but I can't give. He have not proven himself yet, like Ralston. So I give Ralston the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
The program is still for the people of Jamaica?
Which program? This program?
Your program.
Always. And not just for the people of Jamaica, for people all over the world.
Why I ask the question, I noticed PNP supporters hijack the program.
No.
And then...
No, they don't hijack the program. They are here, but labor rights are afraid of the truth like how devil afraid of holy water. And that's why I know that you're not a labor right, you know.
Who is that a labor right?
You not no labor right. You have a reason why you're supporting the Labour Party. It's something that PNP did do or never do. Make you a support Labour Party, but you're not Labour right. Labour right can't stand this kind of truth. So for you to be over here, it is the PNP that is in you, the honesty that is in you, that allow you to stay here and listen and learn and come to the realization that Ralston is not no political acts. Ralston is the real deal in Jamaica, talking about Jamaica's economy.
Mr. Bell.
Yes, Mr. Edwards. Vincent Edwards.
You know why I am so effective in my community.
Hold on, nephew, hold on, before we forgot. You never hear the man will come on yesterday will say your canning family them at Portland. One man come here yesterday and say you're going in yard in the 2019 by-election. 8 vote in the yard and you take where the 8 of them from PNP. Promise the people them say you're going to have medication for the old people them and you never return. Something goes on, nephew.
Mr. Bell.
Something goes on.
Look here. That argument.
Yes.
I'm talking to you. That argument is political propaganda.
So no go so.
Let me tell you. Make I tell you something.
Yeah.
I am so effective on the ground for my political party. The reasons for that. I make sure that I live that both political party supporters upset me. And people are confident in me that when them say they not talk to me colleagues, but me can come in them yard and sit down in them house, that them living room or anywhere and talk to them. And them have confidence in me. That is
Did
how
you
me live.
promise? Did you promise a family in Portland, East Portland, that if they vote for Mrs. Vaz and she win, you're going to provide medical support for the elderly in the family?
And I'm saying to you, Mr. Bell, that is not true. When I were in East Portland campaigning, my division was your division, the fellowship division.
Oh.
And that is the reason why presently I am saying to colleagues, be careful and mind Colin Bell come back and take away this division from. Oh no, be careful. So I leave it there. I've never done any such thing.
All right,
I don't
sir.
make, you can, I've never done any such thing. I don't make promises like that. If somebody asks me something which I know I cannot fulfill, I make it clear to them that this, because you as a politician know that sometimes the voters make some demand for you,
Yes.
which you know definitely say don't possible, Colin.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you have to have the balls and the guts to tell the voters that me want the vote, but me not tell you the lie and trick you for the vote, because at the end of the day, again, the more harm to me, more and good. That is the type of politics.
But
Barry
did you win 8 votes out of a house for the GLP that who were PNP people?
I win a lot of vote which was PNP, especially disgruntled PNP for the Labour Party. I always win vote for the Labour Party because of the life I live among the people. I don't curse people because of their political belief, because I know that a man are entitled to their right to support whichever party they want to support. And I know that this is the best interest of Jamaica to have PNP and GLP. I don't believe in one party system.
All right,
and when
nephew.
the PNP is strong, it gives you a better government from the GLP. And when the GLP is strong, it gives you a better government from the PNP. So I don't curse people because of their party leniency. I don't do it.
All right, my brother. Respect and thanks.
Yes.
All right, nephew. 876-804-7072. This is the Colin Bell Show. Yes, the finance minister said what nephew said. Now tell him not tell a lie upon that. But me I wonder if Favor never know this yesterday. Listen to her.
Is cautioning that the war in the Middle East between Iran, the US, and Israel will have a serious impact on the Jamaican economy, still reeling from the effects of Hurricane Melissa. Speaking at today's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House, a day after delivering her budget presentation, the finance minister admitted that the price of fuel and electricity bills will be impacted in the coming weeks. She also warned that consumers should brace for increases in most items.
But it was a budget presented in the context of the significant Category 5 hurricane that we experienced last year, October 28th. It was presented as well in the context of a very serious war that is happening in the Middle East. And the connection there between what's happening in the Middle East and Jamaica is that the price of oil is impacted. As you know, Jamaica buys every drop of oil from abroad. And so what happens to prices on the world market impacts us here in Jamaica. And to the extent that oil prices rise, it means everything for us is more expensive. Transportation, cost of production of goods, electricity, just about everything will be impacted. So it's important for us to understand.
Yes, that was Favor Williams. Caller, good evening. Go right ahead.
Hello, good evening, Colin.
Yes, Neville. What go on, brother?
Good evening to your listeners and your producer.
Blessings.
You see this program that you see this movement that you have right here, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's not a show in this time, yeah?
No, it's not a show.
It's a movement.
Yes.
You know, one of the things I would encourage people to study, the level of the motivation that both soldiers and the soldiers in the war between America and Iran and Israel.
Yeah.
They give them some motivational patch on their uniform.
Mm-hmm.
The IDF, they have a lot of patch. And one of the patch telling them that if they don't fight this war, Jesus not going to come back. and they have another patch on the uniform that tell them that this war is about the building of the third temple.
Oh?
This is a religious war, you know?
It is?
Yes, it is very deep.
No, but if it becomes a religious war, then it
look
now
here.
pretty.
They the Israelis, soldiers, they are tying this war into the Bible and the coming of Christ, you know.
But if the Arabs declare a holy war, you know what that means, Neville?
Yes, you know that you have the chief Ayatollah named Ayatollah Sistani. He lives in Iraq. He has declared a fatah.
Trouble.
Hey, and you hear Favorite Williams that tell you about the price of things are going to raise?
Yes. But why she never said that yesterday? She never knew that yesterday?
Yeah, she know, but let me tell you the ramification of that. You see, when the prices rise, the supplier going to have to put on his margin.
Yes.
And they have a concept in accounts named replacement costs.
Oh, yes.
You say if my stock of foreign product going down, and I know that there's an increase out there on the market, you have an accounting concept named prudence.
Yes.
So you have to mark up now at replacement costs.
Yes.
So they're going to raise the product before they buy the next set of stock, you know.
But most
in order to stay in business, that is prudent.
Most people start increase already.
Yeah, and then now when you go in the supermarket, the GCT that you used to buy the goods at, the government don't raise the 15%, you know.
No.
But 15% of 100 is different from 15%
of 200.
Of 150.
Or 200, yeah.
Or 200. So you're going to draw away your cash flow.
Yes.
Because it's not profit run business, you know. And it's not taxes run government, you know, it's cash flow.
Cash flow.
So when they spin the narrative now and say no new taxes, don't GCT no raise, but the cash flow gone up.
Yeah. No new taxes, but taxes have been increased on you every year.
Yeah, the cash flow. And most people don't understand cash flow, you know. And another thing I want to tell you, when they put on the sugar drinks tax and all of this inflation that is coming, you know how much cash flow the government draw to the economy.
but Ralston told us yesterday that there's about $13 billion less going around than what was going around in January.
Yes.
Money in circulation has fallen.
Thank you. And plus, you have a set of people who owed money in this country.
Yes.
So me not call no foul.
Tell her.
They owe the money. But they expect the money to be out there because they don't understand how money works. Colin.
Yes, never.
This program must be the financial literacy program for Jamaicans on YouTube.
Yes.
Because you see the initiative that Favor William. Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead, Neville. May I listen to you?
You see the initiative that Favor William talk about putting pension money in this SME? When you see a company like Grace Kennedy Company Limited, it means that the investment of all the shareholders are limited to what they invest in the business.
Yes.
It also means that if they make a loss, they can carry the loss on the balance sheet and set it off against future profit in their appropriation account. You see, most of the small, medium-sized business in the corner shops, they don't have that protection, you know. They have what they call limited liability, unlimited liability.
Yes.
So they can go bankrupt any time, you know. If Grace Kennedy go bankrupt, you can't trouble the investors' personal asset. You know?
No, you can't touch their money. It's limited to the company.
Yes, sir, their investment.
Yes.
So our small, medium enterprise now need to find a way to consolidate, merge. All 6 of them are merged, 6 brethren who have corner shop. Merge it and put everything on one balance sheet and re-register the business as a limited liability company.
Yes, and secure your personal asset.
Thank you for it. Tell her. Ball it out for me. Secure your house and your car.
Secure your personal assets.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to leave this with you. You see, this war,
yes,
it is said to be costing the Americans $1 billion a day.
And it going to cost them more.
And it is also a proxy war against China. And a proxy war against the BRICS.
Ooh,
you say if this,
what is happening?
This war
Hold on.
here,
Did you hear Neville that them locked down Canada, the Canadian account, America locked down some account for the Canadians?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, say, no World Cup football now go keep it.
Yeah. Tell her.
Let me leave you with this. You say when this war fail, look out for your digital currency and your cashless society. Because America can't pay back in 39 trillion debt. Most of it that is owed to the China who is fighting a proxy war through Iran to stifle the Chinese economy.
Leave it right there.
Colin.
Yes.
Colin, let me leave you with this.
Yes.
Your family is your army.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Get them ready for battle.
Get them ready. Later.
Yes, sir. This is war.
Oh,
and it's more economic. It's very economic. They're coming for your assets.
A revelation. At 6 o'clock, we're going to talk to Donna Scott Motley, the opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs. Neville, little more.
Little more.
Bless up. This will be a revelation. My sister, Wagwan.
Me there, my brother, me there. You know, so we have in that class.
Talk to me.
University.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, me I watch Dan Lemon. You know Dan Lemon?
Dan Lemon, a bad man, you know. Bad like a yaz. Tell Trump anything come my mouth.
All right. He put out one article. Facts.
Yeah.
Trump two son. Eric Trump or whatever, Junior, whatever. The young man, them have a business where them make missile. A company where make missile.
Where the box? So war have to go on then.
Yes. In name, yeah man, guys, in name out everything where Baron, that are the last baby boy.
Yeah.
When long one baby. Him I do something like a crypto kind. That film business that. Eric Trump and the other one, the two bigger one. Them have one company named Powerhouse. Powerhouse. Yeah, Powerus. Powerhouse. One word. I make missile and they make like 1,000 per month. So I want to ask when we travel the world and more experience more. Look, where get out of here?
Right?
Not missile, drone, sorry,
drone. Them make the drone them.
Thank you, Richard. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bacchus. Drones.
So if them make drone for use in a war, you mean like the drone them what Iran use?
Yeah, man, some drone, they never tell you the...
Or a toy drone them make?
No toy drone.
All right.
Drone.
I'm going to go look for it and get the full information.
And then no. Hold on. Trump say, except Rubio and his son-in-law and one another man, are they making going to war?
Trump says so.
Trump says so. I want more.
What the nether man Netanyahu? What the nether man Netanyahu?
No, not Netanyahu one. Four of them were they round him. Except one.
And them tell him
Rubio, forgot where another man name.
Well, but the
Jared.
president will have advisors, so the advisors will advise him to do certain things or not to do certain things.
Yes, but what him come out cause out time mouth. Instead them tell him say he can't go because Iran go attack him. So now we want to take out himself and blame them. Because he must say Rubio, me tell you what he say. Rubio play a great part. Like a convincing part. Like how mother say, right, me trust Colin. So anything Colin say, me I go with
it. So you trust Marco.
You know the music business and entertainment business. So you know about it. So if me come to you with something and you say, yes, go ahead. Me go take your word for it. That's how we get out time.
Well, I saw the presidency work still. The president have a whole heap of advisors because the presidency is like an institution, you know. It's not a one-man band. You understand? So he have a whole heap of advisors around him and the generals and all of them people. So, yeah, people will advise him.
Yeah, but him not take where the general, some of the general them, come follow them, you know. They tell him, say, no go. That's the one they were in and on the general them.
Yeah.
In a present, you know. But him bypass them and take X, like an exit non him serve, you know. But he wasn't a general.
But you see, as president, as prime minister, as minister, when your advisors give you the advice, you have to know, have to be equipped, have the knowledge and the understanding to cipher through the advice and make the best decision. That's why Tufton must be fired. Because back in about 2016, 2017, Tufton was told he got two advice. One, lick down Cornwall Regional and rebuild it. Two, renovate it. And he took the decision to renovate it. And that has come to cost the Jamaican people $20 billion. Christopher Tufton must be fired.
Because, Colin, you call me now and you give me a work. Me that security, me that professional security. Don't give me no mason work. I'm in a mason.
Yeah.
And you give me a job and tell me if you do something. Me I go listen you, and me I go dissect you. And me go look for the actual thing where you tell me and try if you look behind it. What will come the repercussion of it. So even if you're prime minister or president, no matter what you do, you must have your own thinking to say no, yes, and look. So you become a figurehead.
Yes.
So if a man can say, says so, call to me him our prime minister moving on. If America tell himself he got poison tank up Hermitage Dam. Forget that's our Jamaica. It's still like you got do it, you know. In now, go say things, brother. They didn't do that to people now. Now, even a business.
You really think
because you must have to think. I saw me look funny. Because as I sit here, I can tell you, say, I feel it for the people. I was working at an institute, a place, and I met some Cuban doctor, and they come there and they have nice time. And the lady showed me something on her phone. So me I quint up my eye now, and she said, security, why are you looking like that? Something wrong with the eye? And I said, don't worry, me now. She said, well, you know. And immediately the lady give me her personal phone number, And I said, do you know Kingston? I said, yeah, man. And she made me come and St. Joseph Clinic and me get through. They get the highest checking. and then write me a prescription to buy the glass. And the lady said to me, do not wear the glass every day, but you wear it now and again.
Yeah.
Your eye is all right. Then put me for one place and one bed for lie down and said to if it turn, put me head so. And he said to me, say, you know what I'm doing now? I'm looking at the back of your eye. And your eye is good. But because of the environment, the heat, because your country we live in now, more time after 40, you have a little eye problem. So do not wear the glasses every day. And me have this bad sinus. So you say I can the sinus cause it too. But keep your glass. I mean have my glass. That the test them who look at pay for. We could pay for them to test them.
A lot of people going to suffer, but the government not care.
Yeah, man. But I want me to tell you, Colin, the job where I do for me. Yo, brother, money can't pay you.
Respect.
God bless you and God bless your family.
That's what we need.
And your wife, because behind every good man, there's a strong woman. Also, your mother, if you care you, people come here, I can share you with me.
Tell her.
Big up yourself.
Blessing, sister.
Big up yourself. Yeah.
876-804-7072. What is going to happen for that program? Especially people with eye problem. How they going to manage? Turn off the instrument in the background for me, please. Have to turn off the instrument in the background. The delay is big. Caller, good evening. All right, so we can't work with that. When you call the program, you're watching the program on your television. Once your phone starts ringing, you have to mute the TV. There's a massive delay between the phone call because the phone call is actually instant. The broadcast you're watching has a delay of sometime up to 30 seconds. Anywhere between 5 and 30 seconds, there's that delay. So, we ask you when you call, just mute the instrument that you're watching us on. Remember, at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk to Senator Donna Scott Motley, the opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs. We want to talk about the Cuban eye care program, the Cuba medical mission. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
The Cuba medical mission.
No, me not think y'all listen. Call and mute the thing in the background, please. All right, so we're now going to work with you on that. We have Rattigan. Ratty, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Well gone.
I call you for a specific reason because I know you were one of the men where I called for the Auditor General to do an audit into the old bus them.
Yes, sir.
Well, we get some response from the Auditor General. I send the clip to you. I don't know if you'll get a chance to listen to it.
No, I haven't listened to it.
Well, listen to this. Listen to this, Ratty. Listen to this. I send it to you, so, but let me play it for you right here and now.
General Pamela Monroe Ellis has initiated a probe into the Ministry of Transport's acquisition of 110 used school buses amid public concerns over the procurement process. The buses were imported at a cost of $1.4 billion from the United States under the government's National Rural School Bus Program ahead of the reopening of schools for the 2025-26 academic year. Halshane Burke reports.
In a statement on the Auditor General's Department website, Mrs. Monroe Ellis said the audit is in response to numerous stakeholder representations to the office and media reports regarding the acquisition of the 110 school buses. She says a preliminary assessment was undertaken to evaluate the credibility of the claims and to determine whether there was sufficient justification to initiate a formal audit. The Auditor General says the special audit was subsequently commissioned to determine whether the procurement and contracts management practices complied with the applicable laws regulations, policies, guidelines, and guidance notes governing public procurement in Jamaica to attain value for money. The findings are expected to be published in the July to September quarter later this year. Last month, the Gleaner reported that opposition leader Mark Golding wrote to Mrs. Monroe Ellis's office, the Integrity Commission, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, requesting an investigation into the Transport Ministry's procurement of the school buses. In his 2025 letters, Mr. Golding stated that apparent irregularities and other suspicious aspects relating to the procurement of the buses had been brought to his attention. Mocha said a full and comprehensive evaluation was being undertaken in order to assess the credibility, veracity, and substance of the allegations. Access to information documents obtained by the Gleaner also revealed that the Public Procurement Commission warned the Transport Ministry against handpicking contractors, even as it endorsed the billion-dollar deal for the controversial used school buses last year. The contract was awarded to El Hydra Limited through a single-source method based on an unsolicited proposal. There was no competitive bidding process. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has defended the acquisition of the used buses, reporting that more than 80 units are operational daily.
Well, we can stop it right there.
Ah.
What is your response to that, Ratty?
It's about time. What happened is that I wrote to the Auditor General, and I told the Auditor General that I don't need anonymity. And also I have a lot of information that would ably assist her in addressing or initiating an investigation. And I told her, look, I'm willing to share everything I have with you. We have done background on some of the purchasers here. We know where the buses were made. We know where they were sold. We know all of that stuff. We have all of that information. So I said, look, Auditor General, you can tell the world if you feel like that it's me you deal with, or if you feel like you don't want to tell them, that's fine. But I have all of this information and I'm willing to share it with you. So what I did was I also went on my program and told everyone that they needed to write a similar letter to the Auditor General requesting an investigation into the matter.
Which we did.
And
we also did.
Yeah, I'm glad. So a lot of people wrote her. So at that point, I guess she had no choice but to go ahead. Not that she needed anybody to
prompt her,
like influence her to do it, right? Because she would have done it on her own, I suspect. But it would, it was nice for us to all get into the mode of just saying to her, look, there's something went wrong here, and we need you to look into it. So I'm happy that she's doing it. I'm hoping that she'll do a full audit, because sometimes she'll do an audit, but it doesn't go far enough. And I'll give you an example, like the one up at UA. She didn't look at medicine, pharmaceuticals, and that's a huge area for corruption. But she said, listen, because of the scope, because of my limited personnel, because of the time, I couldn't go that far. So I'm hoping that with this one, she will go full Monty. Want her go to the end of the earth. You know that. Colin.
Because listen, I am confident that about $700 million gone awry out of this deal.
Colin,
so I am anticipating this report.
Listen, we have a bus park up about maybe half hour from where we live now. $1.
Yes.
A 2015 bus, and the 26 buses that we heard about, most of them, a lot of them are 2015 buses. They're at the end of their useful life.
We know. And they are not conducive to the Jamaican road. We heard, listen what Ellington said in the parliament, in the PAAC today. They were asking him.
I was watching it.
You were watching it?
And and I got so frustrated. I had to stop. I got so frustrated.
Yeah. You take up $1.4 billion, go buy a dollar bus.
That's exactly what they did. The buses don't cost them kind of money, the brethren. Me and you know that. It don't cost them kind of money there. Those buses, and you hear Dr. Dots asking about the chicken bus, and none of them knew about it. I knew about it, that they were buying the buses. The Guatemalan businessmen were buying those buses $2,500 a clip at auction. taking them to
Yes.
Guatemala and turning them into chicken buses. They used to carry chickens. Now some of them carry tourists. But it's the same buses. Same
But
buses, 2,500.
and we paid $1.4 billion for 100. It can't go so.
No.
We're not
No.
going to keep you ratty, but tell us about your court case with the diaspora thing. What all that is going. What you just give us an update quickly.
Yeah, a quick update is that the lawsuit continues. There are some things we're working on right now, but the defamation claim, that is going to be interesting. We're working on two things. One, we're working on trying to have a court declare the election null and void for various
Oh,
reasons.
so the election went ahead.
They went ahead with the election, right? So now we have
Oh,
to
that's
declare it null and void. But separate and apart from that, we have the defamation thing, and now we're finding out that the diaspora organization, which we're hearing, it's well, we know it's run by the government. Now they're trying to put the Gleaner, throw the Gleaner under the bus, saying that the Gleaner, they didn't tell the Gleaner that I was bankrupt and that I was a convict. And so the Gleaner did that. Whatever the Gleaner did it on their own. And then they came out with another one saying that I have a bad reputation and that I'm unwilling to work with the government. So we'll see how things work out.
Oh, well, we're going to be talking to Senator Donna Scott Motley about this Cuban program, Ratty. So we'll talk.
Yeah. All right, my
Sometime.
brethren. Take care of yourself. Bless up.
Blessings.
Bless up. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Wilfred Rattigan from Rattigan Show telling us about his views on the fact that the Auditor General has finally decided to dig deep into the old boss saga, and we await her report. We have online Senator Donna Scott Motley. Senator, good evening.
Good evening, Colin, and good evening to all those who are listening to you this evening.
Blessings,
I
man.
hope you are well.
I am doing well, giving God thanks and just living in the moment, but worried about my Jamaican people, Senator. Very worried about my Jamaican people, because right now we know that a lot of people need medical care, can't pay for it, and they are depending on the government to provide medical care for them. And we were ably assisted over the last 50 years by doctors and nurses from our brothers and sisters in Cuba. All of a sudden, this came to an abrupt end. Speak to us about that.
Well, I was dismayed by the fact that the government chose to end the program. Now, we know that the US administration has been putting pressure on different countries to try and end the program, really as a way to punish Cuba. But for me, Colin, when Marco Rubio was here last year, there was a statement which was issued on the 27th of March. And the Prime Minister made it clear that the government of Jamaica has ensured that the Cubans are treated within our labor laws and that they benefit like any other worker. He says that any characterization of the programs by others would not be applicable to Jamaica. And the characterization was that it was human trafficking,
and forced labor.
It was forced labor.
Right.
So this Marco Rubio actually commented on it, and he noted that the administration had no issues with the medical missions, but instead how the programs were run globally. And he certainly gave the impression that Jamaica had operated differently from those countries with which he had a problem. Now, my concern about it is that during this time, it was clear that negotiations were taking place between the government of Jamaica and the Cuban government. I am not sure.
Senator? We're not hearing the senator there. Senator Scott Motley. We'll see this buffing. Let's see if it is from our end. Senator Scott Motley. We lost the senator. Let me try and get her back. Let's try and get her back. Hold on. Not there. Not there. Not there. Let's try and get back the senator. Let me see if we can get back the senator, because you see, we have to dig deep into this, because a lot of people are going to suffer. A lot of people are going to come upon very hard times because of this. Lot of people going to come upon hard times. Because when you could just turn up at St. Joseph and you see the doctor for a while and then you get an operation done on your eye for free, and by doctors who are efficient and who knows their work, and then all of a sudden that is no more. What are you going to tell the people? It's like this whole thing, about the gas price that we are expecting to rise. We are expecting gas price to rise. And therefore, what the government going to tell us about our edge money? There was a system in place for edging. Senator calling us back. Let's see if we can connect. It says connecting. Don't know if I'm me, but it not going through at all. Let me try, see if I get her from this phone. Let me try, see if we can get her from this phone. Because, it don't look like it's our side. And she did indicate to me that the internet in her area is down. And we were hoping that everything would work out. But look like there's internet problem where Senator Scott Motley is. And we're going to keep trying, because somebody says Pegasus. Yeah. Well, if you realize that we have sorted out certain things, We have sorted out certain things. No, it not so easy to do that at this time. Let's give it some time and then we try our back. We were talking to Senator Donna Scott Motley, talking about the Cuban mission. And that clip with the Prime Minister, I think I know exactly where to go pick up that clip, That clip with Prime Minister Andrew Holness talking about the Cuban mission. But when we think about this all the way happening, I know everything a turn over upon the labor rights them. You don't see it. Eh? You don't see say London Bridge is burning down. When name from Dwayne Stevenson do a song, London Bridge is burning down. No, our internet all right where we there now. We our thing quite fine. We see where our internet stand up, man. But the senator did tell me that where she's okay. We get the senator back. Senator Donna.
Hello.
Yes, Senator.
Yes.
Why?
I'm not sure where we dropped off.
Well, let's go back to the Prime Minister made the statement. I think we were right in that argument when he said the Prime Minister made a statement last year, March.
Yes, the 27th of March.
Yes.
And it suggested and reassured us that we were not in jeopardy of having our medical program terminated, because he suggested that everything was in accordance with our labor laws.
Right, and he's been running that system for the last 10 years.
Right. Yes, indeed. And this is a shocking thing, I think, Colin, and shocking for the country.
Yes.
That suddenly now, in this new geopolitical space, you find out that a program which has existed for 50 years does not conform to your own country's requirements. It really is an absurd excuse. You say that you have been in negotiations to try and resolve the issue. But I question that, because other countries have been able to resolve their issues. Ghana, for example, it has been reported, has been able to enter into arrangements directly with the Cuban doctors. I suspect, but I have no evidence, that they might also have entered into agreements with the Cuban government. And you have to remember, you know, Colin, that the Cubans expend a lot of their resources in training their doctors,
yes,
and in research, scientific research.
Yes.
Remember that they came out with a COVID vaccine,
yes,
at about the same time that so-called first world countries were producing a COVID vaccine.
Yes.
And recently, they have said that they have a drug which can treat Alzheimer's effectively.
Oh.
So the Cuban health workers are highly trained, they are specialized, and they bring a lot to our country. When I heard the interview on TVJ from persons who are descended on St. Joseph's Hospital, trying to ensure that they got treatment before the Cubans left, it really pained my heart. Because I was unaware that over 2,000 people are treated annually for eye problems. And they're treated by the Cuban doctors. There is a shortage of ophthalmologists in our country. And the ophthalmologists are themselves deeply worried as to how people will be treated with.
But
people are going to go blind.
Senator, the government said that they had problems in the negotiation and they couldn't come to a deal. Was the opposition ever invited to be a part of those negotiations?
Oh, no, they never invite the opposition to participate in any of this. They have a policy that even the people don't have a role. They say that they are elected to govern, and that's what they do.
And let me just explain.
Colin, you asked,
I just want to explain to my listeners and viewers why I ask you that question. Because it is public knowledge that the PNP administration have better relationship with the Cubans than the GLP administration. And therefore, if there were some difficulties hammering out a deal, you would want to believe that the government would call the opposition and say, come see if we can get the Cubans to move. They didn't call the opposition.
No. And Colin, take note of one other point. When the Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued their statement, they made the point that the government of Jamaica had unilaterally terminated the agreement.
Unilaterally mean them alone make that decision.
They use that word unilaterally. Now, if you're in the midst of a negotiation, you wouldn't say that a decision is unilateral.
No.
What you would expect is that the two parties would have come to an agreement that they could not work through the thorny issues which they encountered, and therefore it would come to an end. But Cuba says it was done unilaterally.
So all this time when they brought the Cuban ambassador to the parliament the other day, and Minister Turlong speaking in Spanish and drew the wrath of Warmington, you believe that the government was in good stead with the Cubans? Was that just a show?
I think it was a perfect show. And I think that Member Warmington also realized that it was a show. And you know that regardless of what, he's very intolerant of those matters. When they said that they were supporting the resolution, which they do every year to end the embargo, it's just pretense.
But tell me,
it is clear they take their instructions from the United States and that they're not willing to stand up for the people. Because it would have been anybody who recognized the contribution which the healthcare workers were making to Jamaica would have done everything to have ensured that something was worked out. Why was it? And the Minister of Foreign Affairs mentioned it. Why was it that other countries were able to work it through, but Jamaica was not?
But Senator, had the PNP won the election in September 3rd, wouldn't you agree that maybe we would have to make the very same decision based on the big man them up at top?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I would be audacious enough to suggest, looking at Guyana.
But Guyana is sending them home, Senator.
Well, the president had said that he had worked it through. That was a statement from the president. A subsequent statement came out, and I don't know the authenticity of that statement, which said they could not work it through, and so they were going to end the program.
That's what we heard yesterday.
The first statement said they had worked it through. So if they now have what it shows to me, if that is in fact true, because you know, you really have to sometimes wonder at the source of your information. I know that when I got that information about what President Ali had said, it was from an extremely reputable source.
Right.
But what it demonstrates to me is that the United States is really dictating to all the countries what they must do.
But your counterpart told MP Dawes in the Standing Finance Committee that the US had nothing to do with it.
Well, that was obviously not truthful. And the parliament must determine how they're going to deal with a minister who has gone unanswered, gone on record as saying something which is later contradicted. It is very clear that the US has dictated that to all the countries, that in spite of any arrangement that they might have arrived at, the US has indicated to them that it cannot proceed.
If you're just joining us.
If, for example, let us go through, let us theorize. So if, for example, Guyana had said, we'll pay the Cuban workers directly, we'll engage them directly, but we will pay you too. In other words, we are going to send you the same amount of money as you would have made outside of this program. If Guyana had done that, and everybody had been happy with it, and then Guyana has to go back on it, one could clearly assume that the United States would say, no, we don't agree. Because be clear that the intention is to do everything to bring down the government of Cuba.
Yes.
Without thinking of what happens to the people. Jamaica already has a healthcare crisis, and this withdrawal is going to make it worse. But nobody's thinking, in all the negotiations, you don't think about the welfare of the persons of the country. You don't think about the suffering which is going to be, which will ensue. There has been no suggestion from the United States that they will fill any gaps in the short term while we may put other strategies in place.
But But Senator, what do you say to people that Michael Manley stood up to the US back in the 70s and faced the consequences? Hence, this present administration don't want to suffer the same fate.
Well, listen, Colin, I'm a pragmatist. I'm a pragmatist in the sense that the 70s were a different time from now. And so I think that Michael's strong language, that if he himself were to be here now, he would have taken a similar stance, but not quite in the fiery way that he did then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is a space for diplomatic negotiations to arrive at a position which is mutually agreeable. I am not going to, as if I were the prime minister, want to put my entire country at risk with in other ways. But I'm not going to also relinquish my dignity and my independence.
But Senator,
because you still have to remember that you're a sovereign state and that independence must stand for something.
But Senator,
now, Colin, if you capitulate and say yes every time something is asked of you, the only thing that is going to result is that you are going to get more demands.
But look here.
Because based on
look what the Prime Minister said in St. Kitts. The Prime Minister actually carried the United States line, but then we hear a congressman said Jamaica is going to be punished for it.
That is correct. That is correct.
So what does the government do then?
Listen, one thing that I understand about the psychology of human behavior, don't think that the example I'm giving you is ridiculous. You have children, and you know that the more you allow them to get away with is the more that they want to get away with.
True.
So sometimes you have to stand firmly on a position. That is not weakness, that is strength. You have to always weigh the risks that you are taking and craft out a position which is mutually acceptable. And in this instance, I frankly do not think that sufficient effort was made by the government of Jamaica to try to think about how much the Cuban health professionals had assisted. When I read the release by the Cuban foreign minister, and the data was that more than 8 million patients had been treated over the time. Over 74,000 surgeries performed.
Wow.
And more than 90,000 lives saved. When I remember that during the COVID pandemic, the Cubans were the first to arrive here. The Cuban presence is not a threat to democracy. They're not a threat to our survival. There is no possibility of Jamaica becoming a communist country. Andrew Holness has been the leader of this country for 10 years. And there's been no shift to Cuba. All it is that this country has demonstrated a real humanitarian spirit, always there to assist and willing to assist all over the world.
What if you find out that the government was given an ultimatum to sever ties? Would you accept that?
Would I accept that they had to accept the ultimatum?
Yes.
I couldn't accept it like that.
Why not?
Because I would want to know that at least, at the very minimum, there was not total capitulation. I would want to know that the government of Jamaica fought for its people. And I would want to know that they at least attempted to place on the table the concerns which they had for the welfare of Jamaicans. To just accept an instruction like that, then what we are saying is that we're really not governing, that we are being governed from outside. And I didn't see in the response to by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I didn't see that negotiations were intense, that they were serious. And certainly, when Cuba said it was unilateral, it seems to me that it was done without warning. In other words, if you are in the midst of a negotiation and you simply withdraw without telling the other person that you intend to withdraw, or seeing how much closer you can get to terms, then that is just taking orders from someone else. How do you balance that? Colin,
Senator,
it is a difficult time.
It is, but Senator, do you really believe that the government of Jamaica really just give up how many doctors, almost 300 doctors and nurses, knowing that we have a critical shortage? In fact, I did an interview with Senator Lambert Brown a couple of weeks ago, and he told me that doctors are working sometimes 48 hours straight, non-stop. So we have a critical shortage of doctors.
Yes, and when the program came to an end, I had a friend of mine call and said without notice, she had to do 48 hours, and after the 48 hours, she will be placed on call.
Yeah.
Now, to have a doctor treat patients constantly for 48 hours puts the doctor's health and the patient's health at risk.
I think I heard Dr. Das saying that after you work for 24 hours straight, after that you're working like somebody who is intoxicated.
Well, clearly, you don't even have to be a doctor to understand that. That is not how we are wired. But you know, I was listening to a program the other day, Colin, if you'll allow me.
Yes.
And I got a sense of how the kind of pressure that people can have, because this lady who has glaucoma said that she went to see the doctor in, I won't call the name of the medical, but it's a public health institution. And the doctor was prescribing medication for her. And she says, I'm allergic to it. I cannot take it. And the doctor still wrote up the prescription. Now that must be just tired and not hearing the patient.
Exactly. Not concentrating out of it.
But you lack, but after time, you lack the capacity to concentrate.
But Senator, the question I am asking you, do you really believe that our government, our caring government, our responsible government just give up these doctors like that? And
well,
said,
I think it's quite clear. And I must say that I could see when the Minister of Health spoke that he himself had deep concerns. Because when you listen to people and you listen to their voices and the words they use, you can go beyond what they're actually saying. And I think that not only does he understand the serious implications on the health, the entire health system, but he also knows that he's likely to get blamed for it.
One of the arguments going around, Senator, is that the Cubans were not properly paid. We had to pay the government and then they get pittance, and that they didn't have their passports, and all manner of things we find wrong with the mission now. Instead of even saying thanks to the Cubans, we are saying that it was forced labor, it was human trafficking. Speak to us about how missions work around the world, because this is not the only medical mission that has come to Jamaica.
And that is indeed true. And, you know, it's ironic that it is only now, that these issues are being raised. Why have they just come up? Why weren't they made public many years ago? When they did they discover that this was forced labor? When did they discover that the Cubans were only being paid a pittance? There are many persons who have spoken out and have denied that. There are many persons who have said it is absolutely not true that they are given a pittance. The Cubans themselves have never complained.
That's one of my questions.
They have always been willing.
That's one of my questions. And they are all, even when they go home, they will want to come back.
Yes.
But you mentioned earlier that the Cubans invest a lot in training these doctors. What is the cost for a child to go to medical school in Cuba, a Cuban citizen?
I really don't know offhand. That's the truth. But I know that a lot of persons who could not afford it here have gone to Cuba to study. And we have a lot of doctors who have been trained in Cuba, in the system, you know.
And let me just say to Portland people.
And indeed, in the Ukraine.
Our former
You'll recall what happened in the Ukraine.
Yes, but let me just say to Portlanders that our former member of parliament, Dr. Donald Rod, was trained in Cuba. I think the late Dr. Linville Bloomfield did some time in Cuba as well. But our information, Senator, is that the Cubans go to school free. And if Cuba spends so much money, invest in their people and educate their people, why the country shouldn't get back nothing out of it?
I don't see why, because let's compare to when we bond people in
thank you. Right,
in our own program.
Right.
Because bonding is, we train you, we spend our money on you, we give you this excellent education. And if you desire to move on, well, just pay us back.
Right. Or work for 5 years before you can move.
Exactly. So it's not unusual for governments to work out arrangements which in a way protect the investment which they make in educating persons. In fact, at a time when we had a serious drain of our teachers, when they were being recruited, they would come here and take them. I said once that, well, maybe we need to make it a business.
Train them and send them off. Why not?
Or let the governments which need them invest in our educational system to ensure that they get properly trained persons, because they always like to have Jamaican nurses and Jamaican teachers.
We're talking to Senator Donna Scott Motley. She's the opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs. Donna Scott Motley, Senator Motley, the Minister of Foreign Affairs said that we don't have a mission in Venezuela anymore. What are your views on that?
Well, you see, the part of the problem is that we are so restricted in the information which is available to us. Because her explanation was that it was too expensive.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. They have not produced any information which would support that. I do know, and it's been clear, remember that they passed legislation to take over the Venezuelan government's share in Petrojam.
Yes, and they still don't give up Venezuela the money yet.
Right. Remember that they were supporting, as did the United States, the leader of the opposition as being the legitimate president of Venezuela. So there are a lot of things that we would have to unpack, Colin, if we were to try to get to the truth. You cannot get to the truth in sound bites or through a written release. And I think that if I would say that the releases are cleverly done.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really explore what is the real story. And this is why we rely on programs like yours, and we rely on journalists who are well prepared and who can ask questions so that some of the subject matters can be totally ventilated and the truth can emerge.
But the government minister will not subject themselves to interviews like these.
Listen, it's the people who have the power, you know. And people need to start demanding accountability.
Yes.
From the ministers and from their members of parliament. It's the people, only the people can change things, you know, Colin.
Of course. Of course. And we've been on a mission here to say to Jamaicans that you are the directors of this company called Jamaica.
Exactly.
And when an AGM is being held and you don't turn up at the AGM to decide who runs the company, you are at fault.
Yes, I agree with that. You must have a say.
You must turn up at the AGM and vote.
And vote.
Yes, we call the general election and AGM. It's the annual general meeting. Or every 5 years we have a general meeting. You must turn up and you must
Turn up and
cast your
have your
vote.
say.
Yes. But Senator, what is going to happen to the Jamaican people who need this medical care as we go back to Cuba? Because this is critical.
Well, I think that things are going to get really worse. We remember the stories of people who sit in a wheelchair for days before they are attended to. We know about the shortage of beds. And we know that the Cuban medical workers were filling a gap in very remote areas.
Yes.
The Minister of Health has outlined a short-term and medium-term and long-term solution. But you don't lose 400 and odd professionals over such a short span. Because remember, some of the medical doctors had not returned after their contract ended, but were allowed to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the time when this program was terminated, I think we had 277. But as you can't just fill a gap like that,
With the snap of a finger.
Especially people in rural Jamaica are going to suffer because the Cubans were willing to go there to help the people. Yes. Not because they were being exploited, but because of their own psyche, which is to help.
And they are disciplined people. So if they are sent to an area to work, they are going to go there and work. The level of discipline by the Cubans is different. In fact, we spoke to a gentleman yesterday, and he explained to us that a young Jamaican doctor who wants to excel, not going to work in a clinic in Shrewsbury, in rural Portland.
No, absolutely not.
But the Cubans will go there and work for 2-3 years.
Yes.
What we're going to do?
And build relationships in the community.
Is it possible, Senator, that the opposition with their connection to the government in Cuba can make a call or intervene even without the government asking? Looking for solutions.
I don't think that would be appropriate. And I really can't comment. That is a question you would have to put to our leader. that is way above my pay grade. And I don't get paid. So you know how bad it is.
Yes.
But Colin, thank you for inviting me on. I hope I can come on another time. I'm really sorry that we got interrupted.
Most definitely, Senator.
But I want to thank your listeners for being so patient, for so patiently listening to me.
Definitely.
I appreciate it.
And
thank you.
And we expect to hear you hammering this in the Senate, Senator Scott Motley.
Yes, the Senate is not going to sit until after the budget presentation, but I'm sure we'll be revisiting it there.
Definitely. We'll be in touch.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Senator Donna Scott Motley, opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs. What is going to happen to the Jamaican people? Hello, good evening.
Portland Spice, how you do?
But there, man. Wagwan,
brother. I hear I tell you the truth, say, me one of your avid fan and caller. Fan of me can't get through to you.
Phone line busy. Busy.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
The thing turn up.
Yeah, man, the thing turn up, man. Information where I give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So talk to me.
Yeah. You don't know me. You know me, no, but you know me, but you don't know me.
Okay.
Don't mind me. I tell you, man. Colin, me not lie to you, boy. You know what time more and call one, and call a key and get through. You hear something so. Anyway, me get through now, so I could talk. All your listeners and everybody in the chat and everything.
Yeah.
Enough thing I got to talk about. I'm not talk about the Cuban, the man. First thing, you said something one day. And me don't know if you know how important it was when I said it,
What was
Let
it?
me repeat. You said something one day, but I don't know if you yourself know how important it was when I said it. All right. You said almost 99.99% of Cubans are educated.
Yeah, man. Literate.
Which is true. Which is fact.
Yeah.
I am saying that to say this. That is why you don't have any upheaval. You don't know war. You don't know nothing. Because they understand what is happening.
Yes.
So you can't fool them.
Them understand the assignment. Yeah.
All right. Did you know that when they overthrew the Shah of Iran in 1979, the illiterate rate of Iran was 47.8 to 49%.
Okay.
When you listen me, you know.
Yes.
When you take him, a school, me I carry go now, you know.
Talk to me.
Just like how you can go to school. Me I carry go to school now.
Yes.
Didn't know, as of even yesterday, the literacy rate at Iran are 98.5 to 99.9%.
Never know that. Thank you for
You
the
never hear
information.
me just say.
I heard you.
When me just say a while ago. When they take over from the shot, what should they be?
45%.
To 48.
To 48. No, it's 98 to 99.
0.9.
Yes.
But you see, when the American things say money, I'm gonna say, you know what I go what? The man is educated, man.
Yeah. People understand. You see, get wisdom, get knowledge. But in all you're getting,
understanding.
Get understanding.
Understand.
Understand.
So what me I try to show you say that Michael Mann did when Michael take over Jamaica, you know, at about 20 to 30% literacy we have, you know.
And that's why Michael Manley bring in Jamal. Michael Manley say your people must be educated. But labor rights do not like education.
No, I
will
want to
come against them. No, me have to say it. Me have to say it because I hear bloggers, labor right bloggers and vloggers out there criticize a program where Damian Crawford said every house in Jamaica must have at least one person with a degree in that house, and the man criticize that.
Colin, me no want to say. You know why? To me, in my opinion, no, I'm repeating, I know your Portland Spice opinion, no, and my opinion. Labor right are done, you know. Most labor right now no sense, you know. Most labor right can't hold one conversation with me, you know.
Oh yeah.
A Michael Manley school, me, so me know. Anyway, when I go so, but anyway, I go back to what me I said now.
Yeah, quick and fast. I want to take a couple more calls before the program done.
All right, so back to what I say.
Yeah.
See Camilla Johnson Smith.
Yeah.
Remember when Maduro win the election, you know, I'm more you go fact check it.
Yeah.
You know, so Camilla Johnson Smith go to Venezuela inaugural speech or Maduro speak, go accept Maduro as a president, legitimate president, but win the election. Me ask her, tell me, I tell you.
Should it go down? Well, we can check it.
Said,
a digital aid, so we can check that easy.
Me say, all right, I'm going to tell me, you know. Just like when they tell you, say, as a communist son, I go run the country. Remember about a couple weeks ago, me tell you that, you know, might be you don't remember who you attacked. But anyway, Camilla Johnson Smith go to Venezuela, they inaugural. And when Trump them call them and say, oh, wanna do, then go back now and come back and double down.
I said they want to support one Guaido.
They went to the when Maduro won the election, Camilla Smith, me not ask you, me willing to take back my talk. Went to the inaugural speech and go there something. We pay our money for go there.
I will check it.
I when Trump them call back now and say, Ray, then go back now and say I'm not legitimate. So what the matter about the Cuban? They have to do what they do. Yeah, me I say something to you.
Final thing. Go ahead. Yeah.
Finally. If a man don't have something for you, him can't do you nothing. He can't blackmail you, him can't do you nothing.
Well, Trump now if you have nothing for you still. When a man better than when a man better than you, he just better than you, and that's why small island nations, nations who can't defend themselves must call that people must live by the rule of law.
But him lose that one, yeah. Oh, the man say no, he might give him 30 days to come out away him there, no. And I give him 90 days to pay back all that money for 40 days where them rob them, you know.
Rob who?
That the man say yesterday, you know.
Who said, where you talking about?
Come in the sun when man a rule now.
Oh,
You know you are going, man.
but up to last night, he
Man
never
get
made no
some
statement. Up to last.
Yes, man, the man get chopped. Yeah, hold on, no, man. And when you get on Ralston, more you ask Ralston, a man get Trump administration 30 days to withdraw from all in the Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, everywhere, man, give him 30 years to move.
All right.
And him give him 90 days to pay back all that money when taken him and his father and grandfather them for past 40 odd years.
Or else?
When Raleigh come on, more you ask Raleigh, because Raleigh must have followed that.
All right, cool.
I see your son man make a speech last night. All right, respect.
Blessings. Hallelujah. Where are we? 876-804-7072. Please like up the channel. We're heading to 10,000 subscribers. Yes, we need that assistance to get us to 10,000 subscribers. All Portland Spice ambassadors. Let's get there quick and fast. One love. Marshy.
Colin.
Wagwan.
There.
Talk to me.
What? No, you have thousands of people that listen to you right now and I watch you.
Almost 1,200.
No. All right. But don't we did talk already, so them are going to blame the movement of oil and the war.
Them are blame everything.
Which is true. We know. We're not fool. But we wouldn't get through it so quick.
You understand?
Because we pay for the edge.
Hello!
We pay for the edge, and the GLP government is taking $7 something for every liter of gas that we buy our gas oil or whatever.
Yes.
In order to pay that insurance.
So what
we
I
wouldn't
want,
get bruised so quick.
What I want to ask, what I want to ask the Jamaican people, Marshy, are we gonna sit down and allow this government to increase gas price on us after we've been paying for an insurance? Are we
remember, we're
going
not
to
a
sit down?
We're not a journalist. We're not a journalist to ask a question, you know. We don't have any people, blogger like you, not like some idiot over the next side.
I'm not a blogger. I am not a blogger.
Yeah.
I am a broadcaster.
Right.
I am not a blogger or a vlogger. I am a broadcaster.
Thank you.
Okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Not a
Thank
blogger,
you.
not
Thank
a
you.
blogger.
My apologies. My apology.
Me I do this before YouTube, before Facebook, before Instagram, before MySpace.
Amen.
Me na media
Amen.
before them there. Me no
Amen.
blogger, nor
Amen.
vlogger. I'm a broadcaster.
Thank you, sir.
Over 30 years me na this.
Now me here feel bad. Now me here feel bad, Williams. Start to talk this morning about we go and get increase for everything now because of the war.
Yes, and they are putting on taxes on the people. You see why Ralston said this is the wrong time to be bringing in new taxes? Wrong time.
Yes. And when she says none of who around as reporter or journalists now ask what about the edge that we've been paying for?
Marshy,
we've been paying for that edge. Yes.
The government unpick the people and got the press briefing. Me telling you already, me send a message to Marlon Morgan asking him to give me a link to the press briefing and the press conferences. The man said, me mad.
Yeah, exactly. So me want to know something now. Mr. Julian, when Julian attack? Tomorrow. Well, Julian, me I beg you know, you have to get some answer, You have to get some answer from them people because why taking the $7 something to pay the insurance and you guys was not paying it? Now see the thing get out of hand now. We're not going to tell we say it's because of the world, it's because of the war, and because of the war. So what we didn't pay the insurance because we know say fire can burn down the house and that one day we know say the car can meet in an accident. So that's why we were paying the insurance. So why we not stop the insurance until I take the money from we? Anybody do that, one word to them. DBT.
I'm going to find, I still have the message.
What do you think DBT mean?
Where you say DBT?
Yes.
Dumb
if you're taking my money,
dumb blasted theft.
Thief. Because you're taking the money to pay the insurance and you're not paying the insurance, you take away the money and I can't tell me outside the war cost it. And that's why me did not pay the insurance. Can me expect one?
Because and like I said to Raleigh the other day, if you have a motor vehicle and for 20 years you're not meeting an accident, you still have to insure it.
You still have insurance.
Yes.
You still have to insure.
And Peter Phillips in his wisdom realized that the economy is weak and any little volatility in the Middle East, any little thing, gas prices shoot up. So therefore, Jamaica needed an insurance that when gas passed $64.50, the insurance would kick in. See him like the CRIF, see him like the catastrophe bond.
Yes.
Yeah?
And these people taking the money and not paying it. And now they can tell me, and they tell me about the war. They tell me about the war. And further on now, Christopher Tufton never know how the thing go with the doctor. He never know nothing about the salary thing or it go. When him know? When him know? No one. Come in at Johnson Smith. Me here, she did that tell. I must say some idiot she did that tell. Son of the US, we not come under any pressure from the US. She send one the Cuban. That's what she say, you know. And then one next half with when he add coffee tenly. Must you not realize what come in I did say.
Well,
that the government don't want to
I find it. I send a message to Marlon Mag and I said, blessed bro, can I get the Zoom link to the press conference? The man respond. What's next? Andre Stevenson attending up on GOJ. Uno funny bad. While you are at it, let's throw in J. Brian and Ripe Mango. That is what the man tell me after me ask him for the link for the Zoom for the press conference, you know.
But them want people like some cartoon from over and some handicap from over nationwide who want to control the ball from the bat. But them will never ask them questions like
so
this. What happened to the hedge?
And pick them one people to come at the press conference them.
Yes, that's what they did. That's what they did. But I'm tell you now, don't say the same thing when come in a Johnson about the Cuban. Crime said they don't want to anger the US.
Oh, that's what
Johnson said no, them that come under the pressure. Yeah, man, you know, that kind of idiot. Well, but in talk the truth. I truth in talk this, you know. I truth in talk this. I truth in talk this, but come in, I was lying. And when them ask Christopher Tufton, and Tufton decently say, it now is, all right, in my word, I no time to argue about that.
Yeah.
It's to do something from here on now. Because guess what? In no more lie left to tell. Because Andrew Wellness tell out the whole I lie on him too. Then tell out the whole of the lie, no more lie, no left to tell.
Marshall later.
God help us.
Leave it right there. 876-804-7072. We're getting off at 7 o'clock this evening, people. What? Let's go over to the United Kingdom. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yes, Colin.
Yeah, man. Talk to me.
Good evening. Can you hear me clearly?
Clearly, go ahead.
You know, in America, if you have a felony, you cannot vote.
If you have a what?
Felony.
Okay, if you have been convicted.
Yeah.
Eh.
We have that.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but look, this is not Colin. The president of America, which is Donald Trump, he have 34 felony, and he's the president.
What never happened in 50 years happened in a day, brother.
No, the joke is, you know, if you have one felony in America, you cannot vote.
But a man with 35 is the president.
Of 34.
And he's the president.
34. And he's the president. You see the logic about it? The logic about it? The logic?
Yes, I understand. And that's why in Jamaica, we have a prime minister whose statutory filing cannot be certified. And let me tell you what, and the law says that his statutory filing should be certified and a summary made public. For the last 4 years, we not get no summary of our prime minister's statutory filing.
Okay, Colin, I'm going to try if I can solve this Cuban thing, right? What I'm going to do with you? I'm going to have to put your shoes in the foot of the prime minister. See? And I, as the Secretary of United States, fly down to Jamaica and have a private meeting with you. And in that meeting, you have a ticket. One-way ticket to take you up.
And that's why.
Certain level of corruption. And certain level of corruption.
And that's why I said to them that you heard when I asked Senator Donna Scott Motley, what if the government was given an ultimatum?
Listen me, Colin, you see me? You are the Prime Minister. Me come down and me become with a 1-year ticket. So, if you take you up and some level of corruption where you have your hand in the American people in pocket.
But
Colin, what would you do? What would you do?
If me had the Prime Minister, I wouldn't have no corruption.
No, man, listen me, Colin, listen me. I'm going to use an example. You know what I mean? You put Andrew on the shoe, Andrew on this, with the level of corruption on him. See?
Me now put on Andrew shoes. Not putting it on.
I'm just trying to give a view on this Cuban thing.
Me understand you, man. Me just like you see him way. But in that situation, what is happening now is what would have to happen.
Yeah, but Colin, listen now. Why did you think the Cuban? Why do you think Andrew Wallace used the Nicodemus playbook to move for the Cubans? Back to Cuba. Listen, man. There's a ticket. There's a ticket with his name on it. And if you don't play by my role, it's going up.
All right, sir. Running.
Okay,
Thank
Colin,
you for the call. Leave it right there for this evening. 876-804-7072. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Yeah, my boss. All going.
My dear man, talk to me.
Yeah, I just want to call up on a little thing with me here. A slide, and some little talking I make. But the CMQ1 thing, me here, nationwide I run with a little thing I say. 50 almost 50 years ago, and the master PNP did go on with human trafficking. But let me tell you this. I mean, can't talk this boy. Them thing your uncle can't talk now because Cuba is the way it is now.
But if
in a Castro days, everybody know Cuba is a communist country.
But my brother,
in a Castro days, when them thing that when Jamaica and PNP signed them deal, that is a communist country.
My brother,
nobody could make no talk about it. So now through Cuba mash up, everybody make it look like say.
Hear me I said to you.
Yeah.
The people that move nationwide or anywhere who are criticizing the Cuban program now, they need to remember that the GLP has been in power for 14 years out of the last 20 years. Yeah? And 10 years consecutively. So that means for the last 10 years, Andrew Holness and the GLP has been involved in human trafficking.
No, but what me I try to say?
No, I'm just saying, if they are talking about that, they must realize that the government that they are supporting has been in power since 2016 consecutively.
Yeah, and the deal come up to 2023 where them
and they were in power
2007
to 2011 or 12.
What me I try to say? right? When them deal signed, Cuba was at the head of them game. Cuba was Cuba. Cuba did in a position to help Jamaica at them time. Cuba, a communist country. You one can't own two car Cuba. That's a Cuba run. And them know say true Cuba mash up now, make you whole of them can't talk. Everybody know that long time.
But Cuba
And
still
nobody
help
can talk.
Jamaica
A
right
communist
now.
country.
Right now, Cuba still help Jamaica, brother.
Still help Jamaica. And then them even can help themselves and them help Jamaica.
Anyway,
Guess what I try to show you?
God
And some
bless.
man run with some narrative attack, some stupidness.
God bless the Cuban people.
Them couldn't talk them thing in a Castro days. Not even Trump couldn't talk that in a Castro days.
No, but if
so
Cuba
thing water down now.
if it's the
and then
communists, if communists are our problem,
water down.
if communists are our problem, Carla, why we don't send home the Chinese? China is a communist country.
It's the same thing. At the same thing,
Why
but
don't
Trump
we?
can't talk to China.
No, but they soon tell us.
China at the head of them game.
No, but you remember when Obama come here? Obama warned against China. You remember that? When Obama came to Jamaica, Obama was warning us about doing business with the dragon. You remember?
Yeah. So some people are running some little narrative and are running some narrative. The people in a communist country, we don't have nothing to do about that.
If you
If
don't
you got
stand up
Cuba,
for
go live
something,
your one can't own two car.
if you don't stand up
Two
for
car
something,
can park in the yard. It can't be your own.
if you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything, my brother. I could leave it right there.
Yeah,
leave it right
right,
there.
man. Big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Blessings and thanks for the call. You know, I've been saying to you all from the other day that my mother have a saying we say, ungratefulness worse than hobia. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Bell.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, listen.
If you have me on a speaker or you have in a headpiece, you have to take it out. Or take me off of the speaker.
But I'm still that man. The man who talked before that one.
Caller, yeah, are you on speakerphone? Take us off the speakerphone. Or if you're using an earbud or earpiece, you have to take that out.
You know, I want to tell that man. I want to tell man that.
Go ahead, caller. We're listening. Hello?
Yeah, man, you know. Yeah. Then I said, Mr. Andrew one is like name, and I'll tell you.
And I don't know what you're listening to, but just listen to the phone. Let him gone. Oh, God. What is going to happen to my island home, Jamaica? How are we going to get over this? What is going to happen to people who need medical help? What is going to happen? We are very short on doctors and nurses. And here we are, turning our backs on people who have been there for us. Same way we do Venezuela. But you, while man, told the leader of government business and Minister of Agriculture that he's a stranger to the truth. And if the government would just come forward and say to us, here a man, the man them pressure we.
Good evening, Mr. Bell.
We're afraid. Go ahead, caller.
Mr. Bell, well, let me reason, If me put in a set of tax for how many years, and the set of tax with me put in, make you not raise no tax for 10 years, and the 10 years where you not raise no tax, the tax with me put in perform better than where you all estimate where you put on. Sometimes you get even 100 billion more where you plan for. Right? How you turn around and curse me?
Because you're ungrateful.
Remember now, not one of the tax what me put in, you never say, boy, it burden some of the people them and withdraw.
No, you keep all of them.
You keep all when me put the gas tax had a purpose. You say Nigel tell us that he can't get it up.
Yeah.
So you use it to run your budget.
What
but
is
at
it?
the same time you turn around and curse me, say, oh, me wicked.
What is it new that they came with, that this government come with? Not new. Nothing new.
You remember 2017 or somewhere about there when all the Shah say the amount of money we can see. He see money everywhere.
Then that's why they said that they were going to grow the economy by 5% in 4 years.
Take you whole life. Even when Nigel left, what do you know? Remember Andrew come out and say, Intel Nigel, put youth take all of the tax them and put in a central government and run the country with
In the consolidated fund. Yeah.
Yeah, every tax you want put in one and use if you run the budget. Right?
Yeah.
So how you are curse me when I'm me and my policy make you could not raise no tax for 10 years.
But look here. Look what they did to Venezuela. It was Venezuela who helped our debt to GDP to come down by 20%,
Yeah.
When Venezuela sell us a $3 billion loan for 1.5.
When Venezuela make the half, then tell we say we not fit do it that's the agreement.
Yeah.
Let me tell Peter Phillips say no fit do with Venezuela, say don't be a Venezuela.
Yeah, man,
because
he did.
I know agreement that make them wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we do now and them and all of the achievement them take it and say at them.
Yeah, man.
How people can say so, man?
Take people glory. But they are showing more of the ungratefulness, brother.
You see, they have some look up paid blogger where they know no content. Where they might tell you just where they might tell you something out of them or where they feel. They not draw no document. They not draw nothing to prove where they might say. So then desperate.
But they can't draw no document. May I invite one of them to come on the show, come explain to me what was good about the budget yesterday, but the whole of them afraid. They can't come.
You can't tell me say you cancel none of the tax where you can see. You hear me wicked, but the whole of the tax that me put in, you're using from 2000. And you know the next thing, all the way they say them not put a new tax for 10 years. But on yesterday, on favorable paper, me see 2016, me see 13.
No,
$1 billion
2016.
tax.
Yeah, 2017.
So all along them are both. And then you hear how she said, because of the 1.5, we had to put in a tax.
And she not call them number. Do you realize that she not call the number them?
So PMP ain't have to put in a tax when they go in when the country wreck.
After they wreck the country. Yep, Carla. I have a message where I need to send Julian because Julian need to talk.
Right,
Julian need to talk about 2007 to 2011 tomorrow. Please and thank you. Blessings, my brother.
Yeah,
One
man.
love.
We need. Yeah, man. You not mentioned 2007 to 2011. You skip over that.
Yeah, man. Then I talk about that time, that period of time.
So, no, everything that is bad at PMP do and everything that is good, we don't even know how we do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take praise for.
Blessings, my
You
brother.
see why
Leave
they
it.
can't release? You see why they can't release Finsa? Because they want it for every time they have to talk. And then when they release,
They can't talk about it again because it's gonna point straight
right,
at
so
them.
they make sure.
Later.
They make sure.
Leave it right there. Leave it right there.
Away.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Touch a thumbs up, like up the video. Want to say thanks to Senator Scott Motley for spending the time with us this evening. We never called for Ralston this evening because, Saturday morning after Julian talk, hey, Marie, I run where I run, but we are here the last lick.
Hi, Colin. Good evening.
Good evening. We're running, but take the last lick, no?
Yeah, let me take a look. Yeah, you know, you see that hedge? But the hedge was removed when them did I do the 1.5. Because I remember when they asked people about it, and she said that, you know, it's like she was saying basically we need to have the hedge
It's not
because not now
favor.
gone.
You mean,
I saw them remove the edge. I saw them remove the edge. And you see what come back now?
yeah.
Come liquid. Well, you know, we not have nothing. And in this this is a catastrophe and a crisis. And I'm moving you along. You know, say Iran is putting mines in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, man,
Put some landmines in.
That are them plan. That is them plan.
So them not start because when me read, when me not probably not understand. I was thinking that they started putting them in already. You know?
Well, one
So,
argument
I
was
don't
that
know
they
that-
have
that-
them in there already, but then the US is saying that them boom up them ship them where them never use to lay the mine them. So I don't know. Let's see.
Well, we don't know. But you know, even then, you know, and to see well, we don't know, it's an unnecessary war, but let's see where it goes. I just, you know, the fallout where
Yeah.
I got it you know, poor we you know, we're not equipped to deal with it. So anyway, Colin, I know it's late, so we'll catch up another day.
All right. Saturday. Blessings. Yes, listeners and viewers, thank everybody for being with us this evening. Thanks, Ratty, for running on for a couple of minutes too. Thanks to Senator Donna Scott Motley. Thanks to you, my listeners and viewers, my ESC Club, Portland Spice ambassadors. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. We're traveling. Real subscribers we have, you know. Yeah, man, and they are here with us every evening. I want to just thank you for spending the time to tune in to the Colin Bell Show on Portland Spice TV and to talk Jamaica on a Sunday morning. May the good Lord continue to bless you all and keep you all. Make his face shine upon you all and be gracious unto you all. May the Lord shine his light upon you and be gracious unto you and give you his peace. Until we meet again Saturday morning. Blessings, my people. One love. Stay safe. Yeah, man. Big up on yourself.